Hey guys, this is Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I just saw the season 19 premiere of Real Housewives of Orange County. I can't believe it's already been 19 seasons. It's been on for nearly 2 decades. That's crazy. That is so crazy when you think about that. So let's get into the episode. It was kind of boring as a premiere episode. I kind of felt like it was dragging. Like, I started to doze off a little bit, and it was not an episode where I wanted to rewatch. Sometimes the episodes are so good, I'm like, "Oh, I need to watch that again." Even if it's not the full episode that I'm rewatching, I still wanna, like, watch a clip again. I'll rewind it and I'll watch, like, a segment or a clip or whatever again, and I didn't feel like that with any of the parts. A lot of it, I just kind of, like, zoned out a little bit and spaced out a little bit. Like, while I was watching it, I was kind of, like, multitasking with, editing previous videos that I had on my old YouTube channel and, just kind of editing it to decide which one I should upload and whatever else. If you guys are wondering what's going on, I already did a whole entire video about what's going on. I basically had to build my YouTube platform from scratch again, but whatever. So let's see, what did I think of the premiere episode? I kind of felt bad for Katie, but I don't know. I don't like it when they have like a token minority on the show. I don't like it when it's just like one black person and all the other ladies in the group are white. I don't like it when there's just one Asian person and everybody else is white. That's why, like Salt Lake City, they were really on the money because Salt Lake City, their premiere season, they had a Asian person, they had a black person, they had Muslims, they had Jewish people, they had, Mormons, they had like gay people, like they had everything. They really and they're in Utah, which is crazy for a city in that sort of franchise. They were the only one that really got it right off the bat. But for the majority of all the other franchises, it's basically like a bunch of white women, and there's like that one token minority. So it can be a little bit hard to watch. The whole entire buildup of the season seems to be that the ladies all take like a polygraph test. They're all taking like a lie detector test. That is not to a science. And the reason why it's not to a science is because it really depends on the person who is giving you the polygraph. That is why they are not admissible in court. It is not the same as a fingerprint. It is not the same as DNA evidence. Polygraph exams are not admissible because there's a lot of things that could affect the outcome. Medication could affect it. Some people are just, like some people are just nervous. And again, a lot of it depends on the examiner, the person who's giving you the polygraph. So it's not to a science, but there seems to be some built up of everybody taking a lie detector test. I mean, I don't know who thought that was a great idea, but maybe it was like something to do for Jen's wedding. You know how like they have a bachelor party or a bachelorette party and everybody goes and gets drunk or see a stripper or whatever. Maybe Jen just thought it was great to have a polygraph exam. I don't know. But the episode starts off with basically, I felt like it was a pile on of Katie. Now, Tamra has an issue with Katie because apparently there's some blogger, troll account, stan account. I don't even know what to call these people anymore. There's somebody, okay? Somebody on social media she claims is harassing her, putting out fake news and all this other stuff. And this blogger came out and basically said that Katie and her husband had reached out to her and consoled her and comforted her and all this other stuff. So Tamra feels really upset about that because according to Tamra, she is stating that whoever this blogger is, that she is basically putting bullshit out there. I don't like that people use the word blogger so freely, the label blogger so freely, because I actually started my platform as a blogger. Now, to me, a blogger is somebody who has a blog. Like, you actually blog, you write, and you have a blog. You have something that somebody could read. And nowadays, a lot of people with any sort of following, I consider them to maybe have like a social media following, but they are not a blogger in the traditional sense. Like, if you're somebody who writes recaps and somebody could go and read your write-up and you're a blogger, but whoever this person is, I don't know who he or she is. They didn't like drop a name or anything. Katie did have contact with this person or if she didn't, I'm not even sure, because they show a flashback scene where Katie and Jen are in the car and Jen's like, well, how do you even know these people? Because Katie says something like she was invited to one of these bloggers' birthday parties, and Jen's like, well, how do you even know these people? And Katie's like, mutual friends. Okay, I mean, look, it's free publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, right? If somebody's talking about you, it's a good thing, even if it's about bad stuff. So Tamra, she's upset though because she's stating that this person is basically dragging her through the mud on social media and all this other stuff. And apparently Tamra had blocked Katie, and then Katie had met up with Tamra to ask her, like, why did you block me and whatever else. And then, she said that, that never happened. Like, when Tamra told her what happened and played for her, I guess like this, whoever this person was, this Bravo fan. She said whatever she said. Tamra played like a recording or something on her phone, And Katie denied it. She said that that never happened, that she was going to get to the bottom of it and all this other stuff. Now, we learned that Shannon, by the way, Shannon looks really good. She looks good. She looks healthy. And I'm glad because I felt like last season she kind of looked disastrous a little bit, but she looks really healthy, a lot healthier than she did last season. So, Shannon, she lets us know that she actually settled the lawsuit with her and John Jansen. She paid the full $60,000 and is settled. And it looks like we're not going to be seeing those two on screen this season. I don't know because it's weird. They brought Gretchen and Slade back, so I don't really feel like Alexis and John Jansen is going to be on since Gretchen and Slade is back. It's like, it's like these weird couples that nobody's really interested in, but they're being brought back, and I feel like they only do that like one per season. So this season is Slade and Slay Smiley and Gretchen Rossi. So they are back on our television screen. They actually have a kid together, and they've been together for over like 12 years. So kudos to them. But they haven't made their debut yet. So Tamra, she goes to therapy, and you see her with her therapist, and she talks a little bit about, her relationship with her oldest daughter and all this other stuff. She's very emotional. She also says that, she misspoke when she said that she was diagnosed with being on the spectrum, and she basically got like obliterated on the World Wide Web, on the blogosphere, and whatever else. So she kind of clarifies it, but not really. But I understood what it was that she was trying to say. But getting back to the recap, so that's why Tamra is upset with Katie. Now, we already know why Heather doesn't particularly like Katie. We know it from last season with the whole paparazzi, Mickey Mouse, ears, whatever the hell. I don't even care. I don't even care. Like, who cares? So we know why Heather and Katie don't get along. But I'm not sure what Jennifer's problem is. Jennifer just seems. Oh, wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. I kept on calling her Jennifer. It's Gina. That is how unforgettable she is. Gina. Her name is Gina. Okay. Gina and Travis. Oh, Jesus. But you see, that's how unforgettable she is. I can't even remember what the hell her name is. Well, anyway, I'm not sure what Gina's problem with Katie is exactly. I guess if there's some residual from last season, maybe her beef with Katie is that, she felt like that whole thing with Heather and Katie, and that she felt like she was thrown into it and all this other stuff. But I kind of just feel like Gina, at this point, she's just trying to get something going with Katie, because I think Gina feels very insecure about her position as a housewife on the show. And look, it's hard. These reality TV, like they get to this level of thirst and desperation when they are on the show, that it is really hard for them when they are faced with the possibility of not coming back for a following season, to get very, very desperate, especially if this is something that they really built their livelihood around. Is Gina's I think that's what Gina's beef with Katie is, or maybe Gina's just a busybody and she just wants to insert herself, because I legit have no idea what the hell is like up her ass about Katie. Now, with Emily and Katie, I'm like on the fence about it, because I felt like at the reunion, Emily was like real shitty. She was like bringing up stuff about Katie's divorce and her custody and everything. And like the whole entire thing was, you and Katie had no interaction in season 18 that would warrant you to be like talking about her custody or talking about her, what was in her divorce or anything like that. And she kind of insinuated like, oh, well, what was it? Were you an unfit mother, or you must have given up willingly custody? And like, but you don't know the situation. You don't know the situation. So why are you insinuating as if you were in the courthouse, as if you were like her lawyer? Were you in there like how Phaedra was in there with Sheree? Because hello, win a case. I mean, have you ever won a case, Emily? I think where's Cynthia Bailey? I need Cynthia Bailey to come and do a confessional and just be like, win a case. Because legit, I mean, is Emily even a practicing lawyer? I don't think she is. I don't. She's upset with Katie because apparently her ex nanny hopped onto a podcast and basically was like, yeah, everything that Katie's daughter said is true and all this other stuff. And Emily is getting her panties in a bunch because she feels like, oh my God, this is like defamation and all this other stuff and blah, 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 invasion of privacy and da 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 da. Look, I feel like if your ex nanny is coming out and saying stuff like this about you, here's the thing. She's saying, I never talk about Heather and blah, 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 blah. But we see her talk shit about Heather, and we actually see her how she is, because she doesn't talk bad about like her friends in front of her children. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, just for the fact that in the season, we see her talking about inappropriate things that she shouldn't be talking about in front of her children. Maybe not necessarily talking shit about her friends, but still inappropriate stuff. Just because you weren't caught on camera in that specific moment doesn't mean it didn't happen. And I do believe that she does talk shit about her friends in front of her children. We all do. And that is the one thing that we do as parents, that we sometimes forget that our kids are nosies. They are nosy mofos, okay? They will listen to everything. And sometimes we're just so deep into conversation or into what we're trying to say or get our point across, or just so into our narrative, that we forget that there are ears listening that shouldn't be listening. Shannon is hosting some like Buddha's yin yang Zen thing. I don't know what the hell they were doing, but it's like some spiritual garden. All that was missing was like some Buddha guy that has like his beads or something. I don't know. And you know, they're kind of piling it on Katie, and they sort of work it out, but I'm not really sure. Katie, she has no cell service. Shannon kind of comes to her defense and was like, "Look, guys, I didn't have like cell service for like, you know, I didn't have any service for like a week. I eventually had to use a landline." The other ladies were not buying it. Gina was getting messy. I don't even know why she was like involving herself like that. Gina's like, "Well, if it was me, you know, I would whip my phone out this instant and da 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 da." And it was like so over the top. And it was like, girl, it's not even your fight. It's like, you know, something between Katie and Tamra maybe, or Katie and Emily, but like Gina was so invested in it, like more so than Emily and Tamra. And again, I feel like it's that level of desperation and anxiety of like, oh my God, maybe this person is replacing me. So yeah. um and that was the episode. That was the episode. Katie saying that she has no cell service. And then it was kind of stupid because right before the whole no cell service fiasco, Katie had invited them onto some sort of luncheon or dinner that she was hosting Friday. And Shannon and Jen, they said that they would go, and you know the other ladies were being kind of quiet about it, whatever. Anyway, I felt like the premiere episode was very lackluster. I can't believe it's been 19 seasons so far, but we'll see. Oh, Jen and Tamra, they're still not speaking with each other, or you know, they still have whatever beef they have with each other. Jen feels like Tamra is basically out to get Ryan, and just for the fact that she's jealous that Ryan didn't pick her or didn't want her or whatever. And then Tamara is, you know, kind of like in her own little head. Tamara's a head case. I can never vibe with Tamara. She's definitely not somebody that I could ever chill with or be cool with or whatever. I like Katie. You know, she's different. She's not white. I think she's like the most natural looking one out of all of them. And you know, like I like her. You know, she's messy. She has a really interesting background with her whole adoption stuff and growing up as like an adopted Asian in a white family in the South, and the red South in Georgia. And you know, I like that. And you know, she has great fashion sense. She's very casual. And like I said, you know, like she's messy, but not a villain. And she's like the right amount of delusional, which I like. So that is the recap, guys. Kind of lackluster. Tell me what you think of it. And yeah, I thought it was kind of a snooze fest. But all right, guys, don't forget to hit the like, follow, subscribe, leave me a comment, and all that good jazz. I'll check you out next week. Bye.